Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 2. This week, we are going to look at part 1.2 in the real estate market valuation project. This is the assignment. We are going to just be looking at our sheets. Remember, sheets is similar to an Excel spreadsheet. So if you get confused, that's what a sheet is. So we can go back to part 1.1 or utilize the saved version of the template that you already have from last week. Either one would work, and it's going to look like this. And we open it up. And this is what it looks like in tab 1, and then we're going to read the instructions together. So let's go back to part 1.2. We are going to open the copy, and then we're going to copy the original data set from tab 1 to tab 2. So to do this, we just click up here in this grayed out area, and then right click and copy. And then we go over here and we can paste it. And so now tab 1 and tab 2 look exactly the same. And so we are now in step 3. In tab 2, we're going to generate a simple random sample of 300 data values. So it says in cell K1 of tab 2, remember not to do this in tab 1, we're going to put a label column first. We're going to use random number. And so I'm just going to copy and paste it over. It's really up to you. You could write it out too. But that's what random number looks like, column K. And then go back here, and then we're going to use this function, and it's going to create a random number in our next cell. So I copied copied the formula, and I'm going to paste it here. You can see I pasted it up here. It shows what that formula is. And this is the random number that it gave me. Your random number is probably not going to be the same as my random number. So don't be alarmed if your random number doesn't look like mine. And then we're going to copy this formula, and it's going to be our formula the whole way down. And we are going to do it for all the values. So we're going to Control C, and then we're going to Control V the whole way down. Once we get to the bottom, it says there's like 4,000 samples, maybe close to 5. I can't remember. So we're going to go to the bottom, and we're going to paste this. So that way you can see a different random number in each cell of column K. While I'm doing this, one important thing I want to mention is to make sure to read the prompt. That way you'll understand what this data is showing. I'm not going through all the nuts and bolts. I'm just giving you a quick rundown as to how this works. And so see how we have different amounts in each, or different numbers in each of the columns. So let's go back over here, make sure that I have everybody. It looks like I have everybody. It looks like, okay, there are only 2,300 samples. I'm sorry, I thought there were more. So now we have our random number in column K. We can scroll back to the top and look at our next step. So we have all of our random numbers, and then it asks us to freeze the first row containing the labels. So we can go over here to view and click freeze, and we're going to freeze row 1. And if you'll see, it gave us a little gray area right below row 1 to show that it's frozen. The reason we're freezing it is we're going to sort this sheet, and if we sort it, and we don't freeze this, we're going to end up with our headers down here below because it's going to be part of the sorting process. So then we're going to sort the sheet based on the random numbers in column K. So we're going to click over here in column K, and then we're going to go to Data, Sort Sheet by column K. and we're just sorting it out. So now that that is sorted, we can go back over here. And then it says, use the first 300 rows as your random sample, which is row 2 through row 301. And then we're going to delete the rest of those rows. So we can go down here. Oh, I'm sorry, that was quicker than I thought. We can go to 301. And that will be our last one. And then these other ones we're going to highlight and get rid of. Because we won't need those. So highlight them, and then we're going to delete the cells and shift up, which I just right clicked on my mouse. And then those options came up. So then you'll click delete cells, delete cells. So we should have all the way down to cell 301. And I'm sorry, row 301 up to row 2. And so now we are to number 4 in our assignment. Once we have our 300 rows, we're going to sort it by type. Since for some parts, we'll be working with only homes, townhomes, or units. So we're going to select column B, just here. We're going to do that sort again. So data, sort sheet, and notice when you highlight it, when you have it highlighted, it knows sort sheet by column B. That's just one of the helpful ways. That's why we always select the column, because that way we know it's going to sort it how we want. And when we finish, we should see we have H's at the top, and then we'll have our T's in second, and then our units at the end. And the reason that we do this is important because then we are going to put them in 3 separate tabs. So that's why we want to have them sorted. So let's see, it looks like we sorted it. And it talks about making sure you sort it correctly. And then select data as a row header to protect your header unit from being sorted. We did that. Now that the rows are sorted, we are going to copy them to our different tabs. So we're going to first copy our houses. We're going to leave these intact. So we'll just scroll down to the bottom of our houses. And it looks like for this sample, we have 186 houses. You're going to have a different number just because your sort's going to look different than mine. And so this is what my sort is going to look like. Go to the top. Oops, I'm sorry. I clicked off and missed it. So we're going to try that again. We're going to go to the last of our houses, highlight, and then right click. What am I doing wrong? I'm sorry, guys. Oops. Okay, right click and it should stay highlighted. And if it does, you've got it ready to copy. So then you'll click copy, and then you can go over here to tab 3 and click Control V, which will paste it. And if you scroll down here, you are only going to see your houses. And then what I like to do, so that way I have my column labels, I'll go ahead and I'll click on row 1 and then I'll copy row 1. And then I will go ahead and put this Control V in both townhomes and units. So I'll go back over here to our tab 2, and we're going to get our townhomes. If you notice, we don't have that many townhomes. It's because comparably there are fewer townhomes than there are houses. So got a few. And so highlight it, right click, and then copy, and then go to townhomes and start here in row 2 and paste. And if you'll notice, we're only going to have T's here. Go back to tab 2 for our final section, which is our units. Looks like we have a lot of units in this sample. A lot of times I don't get this many units. And so we highlight, right click, copy, and go to row 2, Control V and paste. So now you have units in tab 5, townhomes in tab 4, and homes in tab 3. Sometimes I see students, they'll copy this information and they'll just copy over the price information. And you can't do that because we're going to use all of these columns later on. So make sure you have all of the data, have it all set, so that way you have it to use for the next lesson. So it's not just for the grade. We're going to use these specific tabs in the future. So once you finish, you can do file, download, and you can download it to an Excel file and then save it and submit it, just like last week. So I'm going to open this up so that way you can see what the Excel file look like. Conversely, you can also save it and share a link, put a link maybe in a Word document, and then send that link to the Word document. The only requirement if you're going to send a link is make sure you've shared it with me. You'll share it with rhonda.jantz@lapu.edu to make sure that I get a copy of that. And then here, let's pull up my Excel sheet. And I'm going to show it to you again just to make sure there's no confusion. So your first data set, look at how it has all the samples. It's going to have the 2,000 samples. In our tab 2, we're only going to have our 300 random samples. And note, when it's random, it's not going to look just like mine. Your sample will look different than mine. And then in tab 3, we'll have homes. See, there's only H for homes. Tab 4, only T for townhomes. And tab 5, only U for units. But make sure you have all of this data, not just the price. I hope that's helpful, and I hope that you have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions.